I don't even know who that is. That's crazy. That's Martha Stewart. Martha Stewart is 83 years old. Do you think The Substance was a documentary? Look at how not just beautiful she is, she's hot. Here's a clip of me and Martha on her show. This was 18 years ago.
Please welcome Jamie Kennedy.
That's not the same woman. I mean, she looks amazing, but there's something going on in the town, and people are getting younger and younger. Something's going on.
So these new steak nuggets from Arby's are causing a little stir here online. Let's talk about it. Now, I'm going to start with my opinion about these, but we have been waiting for something like this. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the road and I just want meat, okay? I don't want bread. I don't want fries, nothing. I just want meat. So when Arby's came out with this, I was pretty excited, but then I started reading the comments about it. And I might have second guesses. So just like everything else on the internet, things immediately start getting roasted. And this is not exempt of it. So people started calling this like koala knuckles, raccoon meat, and even cartel member meat. And that's mainly because Arby's has chosen not to disclose the ingredients list for this, which I don't know why they wouldn't. So apparently this is supposed to be brisket. It's supposed to be a protein option, and it's about $6 for this right here. I think we're just a little traumatized overall by meat prices. $5 to $6 for this much meat. A little skeptical, but I will say, out of all the fast food restaurants, they're the only ones that say we have the meat. So I guess we should trust them. I mean, come on, guys. We trust Taco Bell with their steak and their chicken nuggets. I think we could trust Arby's. So I will probably be trying these at some point. So I'd like to hear in the comments below what you guys think. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Let's talk about Real ID.
Real ID? Real ID? Real ID? Real ID? I'm not getting the Real ID.
It is a federalized identification system that everyone in the nation will have to have in order to fly domestically. They've been trying to pass this since the 80s in China. They had already passed a nationwide identification system. So everyone has something very similar to the Real ID in China. The next step was the social credit score. They gave like a list of things that happens to lower your credit score. So court rulings, so like refusing to pay debts, criminal convictions, traffic violations. So I saw one thing, jaywalking can ruin your social credit score.
And those cameras catch it all too.
Then unpaid taxes or fines. If your credit score gets lowered, that bans you from flying on a plane, a train, sometimes even a bus, keeps you from enrolling your children in private schools, applying for certain jobs or promotions. This one was a crazy one. They can slow down your internet speed. Just little inconveniences to make your life miserable. And then public shaming via government lists or media alerts. So I saw this one thing where they literally have like a LED screen board in this one city, and they just display faces and names like this person jaywalked, they're just a terrible person. It's like public shaming. It's crazy.
Hey, we're camping in this beautiful state park in Texas, and it's been raining, and the water that's coming out of the sky is blue. And it's not this tarp, because it's happening on this tarp too. Look at that. This is crazy. Are they chemtrailing us in Texas?
Purple rain. Denver, Colorado, the 7th of May, 25.
And this is the water that's on top of my hot tub. And then also over here, we have this little bowl here for our dog. Check this out. It's like purple. The rain. Anybody know what's going on? I'm gonna show you again. Hold 1 second. Check it out. Empty glass. It's purple.
The government has allegedly spent over $21 trillion making underground bunker doomsday cities, and this was a claim made by a former Bush housing official. Not sure if you've seen the show Paradise, but this is the vibe I'm getting. It's literally about an underground city that only the elites know about, and they all rush to it because the world is basically about to end. Anyway, this claim is made by a woman named Catherine Fitz, and she said this on Tucker Carlson's podcast, and she was talking about this study where scholars uncovered $21 trillion in unauthorized spending by the Departments of Defense and Housing in the years of 1998 to 2015. She described these underground bunkers as having city infrastructure, so they're basically underground cities. And she said there's about 170 of them, and a lot of them are under the ocean. And all of these have a transportation system, and that transportation system connects all of them together. And then Tucker Carlson responds by saying he actually knew someone who was working on one of them. Of course, this is all a conspiracy and there's no evidence, but absolutely wild.
Right after Celine Dion released this demonic children's clothing line, her health rapidly declined. The commercial is insane. And here's where it gets a little Illuminati. People didn't know what to make of this. This looks very similar to the Illuminati eye, and why is it on her hand? Now here's some photos from the Instagram. Nothing else. These photos are for shock factor. Now you need to check out the insane commercial.
Our children, they are not really our children, just links in a never-ending chain that is life. For us, they are everything. But in reality, we are only a fraction of their universe. We miss the past. They dream of tomorrow. We may thrust them forward into the future, but the course will always be theirs to choose. I can't believe they called security. I mean, come on, I'm Celine Dion. I'm not spending the night in jail. Holy. Guys, relax, easy. I'm Celine Dion.
Yeah, girl, and I'm Beyonce.
What are the odds that her health declines right when this brand comes out? And you know, these are all paid models, but you can see in the comments, people are clearly not having it. They're calling it evil. They're calling them worshiping the devil. And she never addressed any of this. It's like it never happened.
Did you hear what they're trying to do in Edmonton, Alberta?
After 3 years of planning, city administration is presenting its vision to accommodate a population of 2 million people through 15-minute cities. 3 days of public hearings on the plan began at City Hall this morning. Shailen Skulski has more.
The 15 new district plans and corresponding bylaws will replace 54 existing planning documents dating back to the 1980s. Administration says the goal is to accommodate 600,000 new residents in redeveloped areas, with 50% of all new home units added through infill. The plan also calls for half of all future travel to be done by transit, and for residents to access all their daily needs within 15 minutes. Not everyone supports the plan.
My understanding is that this means I will need to stay within my district to meet all my needs so that the city can meet its climate plan objectives.
I don't think Edmontonians can afford to be part of a renovation experiment of this size so quickly.
I think, unfortunately, a lot of the district plan in particular have been derailed by 15-minute cities, conspiracy theories, World Economic Forums, etc. At the end of the day, this is about land use.
Now, they're selling it to you as this convenient, easy, awesome thing that makes everything more efficient. But there is a seriously dark, sinister agenda behind all this, which I can't even mention on video.
Is anyone else getting allergies like way worse than before? Because I recently stumbled upon something very interesting. So there's a horticulturist named Thomas Ogren, and he found that many cities planted only male trees because they produce only pollen, so they're easier to maintain, versus female trees, which produce fruits and seeds. Problem is, without female trees to absorb all the pollen, it just lingers in the air. He said that this practice started back from a guidance in the 1949 USDA Yearbook of Agriculture, which they recommended, quote, only male trees should be selected to avoid nuisance from the seed. Now, fast forward to today, scientists are saying urban landscaping is to blame for prolonged crippling allergy seasons. Now, this is not ideal for most people, but great for Big Pharma. Zyrtec, one of the most popular allergy medications, is experiencing a boom in sales. In fact, analysts are predicting that the total antihistamine market is projected to triple or almost triple in the next 10 years. And guess what Big Pharma wants to do to help cure us from our allergies? Plant more trees. Okay, a couple years ago, Zyrtec started partnering with a group called American Forests to support tree equity in 3 key cities: Phoenix, Detroit, and Washington, D.C. The result? Sky-high pollen levels in Phoenix, the Detroit metro area, and Washington, D.C. Now, are they doing this on purpose? Claiming so would be promoting a conspiracy, which, of course, we wouldn't want to do. But what I will say is that for-profit medicine will never be designed to cure illness, but rather only treat the symptoms in perpetuity.
Freemasons and anyone involved with them are tied to sorcery and witchcraft.
We met in a Freemason lodge, and the initiation was a black robe. The ritual, a sword was held to my neck, that I had to swear an oath that I could never talk about it, or I was getting spiritual powers. A real sword, yeah. They take a lot from the Bible, tried to make the Masonic lodge like the tabernacle or the temple. They take some parts from Catholic Mass, repeating things in Latin, and it's very ritualistic. At one time we went for 8 hours, I believe, or maybe even more. In one day, met at the Masonic lodge for a day of basically learning and practicing ceremonial magic, which included the invocation of deities, like one invocation of goddess Isis, which is a demon. We had to bow down on our knees and our face to a golden idol of Isis.
Did y'all see what just happened in Florida? This is wild. Congresswoman Lena Garcia was about to talk about the weather engineering ban in Florida, and all of a sudden she completely just passes out of nowhere.
So, Governor, forgive me. I've got to sit down because I am not feeling well.
The timing's pretty freaking crazy, right? Now, completely unrelated, 1000% irrelevant completely. Did you know there's a term called Havana syndrome, which talks about widely over this phenomenon of U.S. diplomats randomly getting sick, and how the medical society, they don't really put a claim on it. They don't recognize this as being fact or as a disease, but they know something weird's happening. And TikTok, you leave me alone. BBC, Wikipedia, what else do you want? Which includes disabling cognitive effects, balance, dizziness, insomnia, headaches, a whole bunch of stuff. Here's BBC talking about Havana syndrome and the mystery of something. Pretty wild, right? The story goes, always diplomats. Fact or relevance, right? I really do wonder what happened right here.
Two gentlemen has now entered that space of Klaus Schwab's chairman. This is the former CEO head, Peter Brabeck-Latman. A lot of the public probably knows him just for this comment. Take a look.
So water is, of course, the most important raw material we still have in the world today. It's about whether we privatize the normal water supply for the population or not. And there are two different views on this. The extreme view, I'd say, is held by some NGOs who insist that water be declared a public right. That means, as a human, you should simply have the right to water. That's one extreme solution, yes. And the other view says, water is a food. Like any other food, it should have a market value.
That may be one of the most chilling things that I've ever seen. That the extreme point of view, this radical extreme idea that water is a right, is now going to be the head of the WEF. So meaning you don't naturally have a right to have water, and if someone owns it and wants to keep it from you, that's their right. I mean, the only thing left is you don't have a right to air.
What is this? This is a tornado forming. This thing goes crazy, and then after this tornado actually goes away. What is this doing?
Pretty amazing shot as that looks in. Can you still see Josh? Looks like he's maybe trying to rope out this little bit.
And then he walks in front of it.
There's almost all the way to the ground now. But look, it's starting to twist there just a little bit.
What is it? It's literally moving towards the tornado. Honey, it's moving towards the tornado.
It's amazing that it can come down that far, but yeah.
I'm watching this white spot. There's this white spot right here. That is a part of it, and it's slowly getting closer. It's about to hit the tornado. No, it's right there, that white spot. It's literally just got into it. Look.
You're now getting the rain and the cooler air. Thanks, 2-0. See this in the mid layers?
Yes.
Starting to choke off just a little bit.
Oh.
So, looks like that we could be on a weakening phase. We may be cycling again. And in about 10-15 minutes, it may try to do this again.
And it does.
Yeah, the northeastern parts
But whatever this is, broke all of this apart. Was this like a cold air current? Like what the heck?
It's not just the Klaus Schwabs and the Faucis. All of them are the visible. The ones who really plan are behind the curtain. They don't want anyone to know who they are. There are dynasties that have continued since a long time. You know, some of the evidence for this has come out. I mean, for example, World War II documents, you know, after 80 years, they've released quite a bit. And you suddenly realize, hey, some of them are still now. That's right.
And who are some of those people?
Rothschild, multinational corporations. And they tell you, it's all written, it's all laid out. They want one world government, one world health organization that tells everybody in the universe what they may do.
Boy, the state of Utah up in their deep state sky game, huh? Just spraying all the health and wellness into our skies. So this is in southern Utah right here. Watch this really quick. So I filmed that video yesterday here in southern Utah, and then today somebody sent me this from northern Utah. And then somebody sent this to me because they're actually tracking the guy. Look at this. You can run, but you can't hide.
Tell me this is normal. It's going in circles.
You get a heavy metal overcast. You get a heavy metal overcast. You get a heavy metal overcast. Is this part of the Make America Healthy initiative? Because if this stops, I might actually believe what they're saying. This needs to stop immediately. This is geoengineering, chemtrails, whatever you want to call it. It's poison. We are bugs to them. Type below if it's happening in your state or your part of the world, because this is ridiculous and we do not consent.
Been seen before of Jeffrey Epstein's home in his private island has been released by James O'Keefe, and there's a lot of really weird things going on. It's of his library, and of course in the library there is a lot of books like Ernest Hemingway and stuff like that, but there was also a book called The Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie, and really weird statues like winged figures and plague masks, a woman washing herself, a horsewhip under the chalkboard. But the chalkboard itself might be one of the most interesting things because of the words on it. It includes words like power, deception, mirror in face, dank brain. I have no idea what any of this stuff means. Maybe you guys do. But James O'Keefe compares it to the notes that he wrote in his prison cell, and a lot of these words do match. So maybe it gives a hint that this was written by him before he was arrested. James O'Keefe also released a video of his kitchen, and there was an inappropriate picture, so I'm not going to show that video on here, but very, very interesting and odd stuff.
the #1 cyber hacking team here in the United States, Scattered Spider. They hacked in Las Vegas. They attacked Caesars and MGM resorts at the same time. It's crazy how they got in. They targeted an individual that works at MGM, found out everything they knew about the person. Eventually, when they were ready to strike, what they did is they called IT support. My name is Anthony, how you doing? I just lost my password. Can you reset it, please? Yeah, here's your reset password. Boom, they were in, and they inserted the malware. Caesars, they asked them, they said $15 million, and we'll release your system. They paid them the $50 million ransom. MGM said no. They ended up losing $150 million. There's another scam one of my clients told me about, and it was social engineering. He was on a plane, he was landing in Miami, and you know how when you're logging in, it says, please enter this 6-digit code that we'll send to your email. He got a list, boom, 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 Google code, Facebook code. One of them was for his crypto bank. So he immediately thought, he's like, I'm being attacked. The crypto company called him, sir, we see suspicious activity. And based upon what had just happened, let's lock it down, let's put 2-person ID, and it was the hackers. He lost $800,000 in crypto in one shot. So these guys know what they're doing. And I mean, that's not the only one I've heard of.
Five foods to grow new brain cells quickly. 1. Fatty fish salmon, mackerel, and sardines are loaded with omega-3s DHA and EPA that literally build new neuron wiring. Think of them as brain fuel bricks. Stack them up for sharper memory and focus. 2. Blueberries. These tiny berries pack anthocyanins, antioxidants that reduce inflammation and boost brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, the key protein your brain uses to grow new cells. Snack on a handful daily for a mental edge. 3rd, turmeric curcumin, the bright ingredient in turmeric, crosses your blood-brain barrier and stimulates BDNF production too. Stir it into smoothies or golden milk for an anti-inflammatory neurogrowth boost. 4. Dark chocolate. Go for 70% cacao or higher. The flavonols in dark chocolate improve blood flow to your brain and raise BDNF levels. A small square can jumpstart your brain's growth mode. No guilt required. 5. Walnuts. These brain-shaped nuts aren't just cute. They're packed with ALA, a plant-based omega-3, antioxidants, and vitamin E. Munch a handful to help protect neurons and encourage new cell growth.
Major lessons in life to learn. Here they are. Number 1, learn how to handle the winters. And there's all kinds of winters, right? The winter when it won't work, when you've run out of money and you've got a broken heart. You can't get rid of January by tearing it off the calendar. Here's what you can do. You can get stronger, you can get wiser, and you can get better. Here's lesson 2. Learn how to take advantage of the spring. Spring is called opportunity. See, just because spring rolls around is no sign you're going to look good come fall. You gotta do something with it. Here's the 3rd major lesson in life to learn. Learn how to protect your crops all summer. You've got to learn to prevent the intruder from taking all the good you start. All good will be attacked. All values must be defended. Every garden must be tended all summer. Now here's number 4. Learn how to reap in the fall without complaint. Take full responsibility for what happens to you. It's one of the highest forms of human maturity, accepting full responsibility.